Okay, hey guys, this is Xaoslegend. I want to talk about a couple of new spoiled cards. This is going to be a short video that are going to make green-white aggro good stuff decks ridiculous in Type 2, which is fine because I don't play Type 2. I play limited. I do drafts. That's what I like to do, obviously, from my page. But I still pay attention to what people are doing in Constructed. I find it somewhat, interesting, exciting to see what Constructed is doing out there. So here's the first one, who I think is the single best one-drop aggressive creature ever printed in Magic. Okay, and that is Step Lynx. He's 1 white for a 0/1. Okay, he's a cat, and he has landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield, he gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So, what does that let you do? Alright, you play green-white, right? So, you're going to play with like 10 fetch lands in this landfall deck, right? You drop him first turn. Second turn, you play a fetch land. You sack it to put another land into play, and now he's already a 4/5 on turn 2. Right, huge. And then if you do something like rampant growth, he's a 6/7 on turn 2, right? As a 1-drop, right? So when is he bad? Okay, he's bad later in the game when you're not drawing any more lands, and you can't pump him up. Of course, if he's not getting pumped up to at least like a curve status for attacking, you do some other spell, so you're fine. And generally, aggressive creatures are never good in the late game, right? The only one that is what's a stupid guy? The white or red guy, Figure of Destiny. I mean, Figure of Destiny is obviously good in the late game, and he's all right he's solid in the early game. But Figure of Destiny requires you pay another mana to make him Isamaru, right? So you have to pay 2 mana to make him Isamaru. This guy doesn't require any more mana besides the 1, right? And there's just plenty of ways to abuse this. I mean, Knight of the Reliquary is just... I wouldn't be surprised to see Knight of the Reliquary go up to a $10 card. You've got Step Lynx and this... And what else did we have? Anyway, there's just some ridiculous stuff with this color combination. So attack for 6 or 4 or whatever second turn. All right. The other card that is ridiculous is Lotus Cobra, and that's right here on Daily MTG. So you don't get a bigger image. Okay. Colorless and a green for a 2/1 snake. So these are random animal creature types, so they don't have any tribal function, but or not really. I mean, maybe someday cats or snakes will have a good tribe. I don't know. But anyways, a colorless and a green for a 2/1 snake, landfall once again. So the more instances of the same ability printed that can go into Type 2, the better the ability is, because you can work your synergy around it. Like Madness. The more Madness cards there were, the more benefit you got for playing cards that work well with them. Anyway, so landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Okay, so he's 2 for a 2/1. He's already basically a grizzly bear. Little worse as a so right there he's going to be a little bit better in an aggressive deck because you can actually hit them if they don't drop anything to stop him. Once or twice, right? And then the landfall ability is just bonkers, right? So on turn 3, you drop your fetch land. That gives you 1 mana. You sack it. You put a land into play. That gives you a 2nd mana. Now you have 5 mana you can play. Okay. Let's say you play Harrow, right? You use 3 of the mana. You tap all your lands and cast Harrow, sack a land. You have 2 mana already floating, right? Or of lands you haven't tapped yet. Put 2 lands into play, get 2 more mana from that. These lands come into play untapped, right? So now you have 6 mana on turn 3 with Lotus Cobra, right? And you got to accelerate your mana. And your 1-drop Step Lynx, well, Step Lynx now is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your step links is an 8, 9 on turn 3, right? He's an 8, 9, right? Okay, so what? You drop 2 Knights of the Reliquary or whatever you want to do. I mean, it's the game is yours to win at that point. Now, it's they've been ramping up the power of cards for a while. One thing they have not done is ramp up the ability to get a lot of mana really quickly, right? And it's really dangerous, right? Cards that can be played for free and cards that give you lots and lots of mana are just traditionally have always led to really bonkers plays in Magic Constructed. If I was in Magic Constructed, I wouldn't be happy about this if I was, a really good player, because it's going to increase the randomness factor, right? People will be able to win the game with fewer cards having been drawn at an earlier state in the game than before, right? Which means that you need a more key-like set of cards, a more luck-based situation in order to just win the game against anybody, right? So that's not good, right? Anyway, I think he's an amazing card. Step links in this guy, I think they may be a little too good. I don't know what the deal is. They're out of power, out of step and power with other cards, and yeah, they're just gonna have that, you're gonna have the nuts hand that you opened, and I won because I opened this hand, right? It's I don't know what to say about it. It's and then in this article, what is it? Mike Flores, he talks about how ridiculous this card is, and they made it mythic. I mean, the other one's a common. That's nice. I mean, everyone will be able to get best aggressive creature ever printed, right? This guy's he's a mythic, right? And you're gonna play 4 of them in every deck you play him in, and a lot of decks are gonna want to play him because this deck is might be the deck to beat. I don't know. Green, white, good stuff. You play this. You play Baneslayer Angel, which you can drop on turn 3 in this deck very easily. Whatever floats your boat, right? And there's certainly other cards. There's like a quest that whenever you play a land, you put a quest counter on it, and when you have 2 quest counters on it, you can or 3 or something, you can sacrifice it and put 2 more lands into play. So yeah. So yeah, they're showing how you could cast Violent Ultimatum with Noble Hierarch or Lotus Cobra, and that's it. And a forest and 2 mountains. That seems like a good idea. Anyway. Okay, so well, buy your Knights of the Reliquary. That's all I've got to say. Buy any good green-white cards that seem to work well with landfall. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, it's an exciting set. I don't know why it seems like Zendikar cards are going to be better. There's going to be more powerful cards in monocolor with not a lot of double colored cost or triple colored cost than a lot of the 3 different color cards in the last block, in Shards of Alara. So I don't understand that. It seems like we should have seen much more powerful things out of Shards than we saw, if this is the level of power that the game's at right now. Anyway, it's probably going to be like a $30 card. I could see that. I mean, it's just a dumb card, and it's going to go into Type 1 decks. Just mark my words. Type 1. He's made for Type 1. He's made for every format he's in. $30. Much better than Baneslayer Angel. $30 online. Offline, $40. I don't know. Something ridiculous. Anyway, so get as much of that set as you can. It's going to be worth a lot of money. But, that's cool. Things shooken up. It's always fun for Magic to see how silly things get. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you next time.